What you're looking at is a small section of woods next to a newly developed neighborhood. This image is from 2005. Fast forward to 2011, the neighborhood is complete, the woods are growing in. Between 2011 and the now 2019 image, a few items appeared in that section of woods. Fast forward to today, those items are still there. Makes me wonder, were they intentionally brought there for a purpose? Are they discarded? What actually are they? Well, there's only one way to find out, and I believe I found pretty easy access to get there. If you want to see what they are, all you need to do is come along with me. By the way, don't mind that abandoned vehicle here on the side of the road. This was tagged September 8th. We're about almost 10 days later, and this is supposed to be towed within 48 hours if not removed. It's still here. Windows completely down. Looks like it's been rummaged through. And looks like there's some bags of doo-doo in there as well. Just past that construction area back there, and the triaxle truck driver recognized me. He's like, "Hey, JPVideos, I'm subscribed to your channel." I said, "Hey, small coincidence, I'm actually making a video right now." So I'm on a road that should take me to the newer development. If I take the one road into the development, it should be a cul-de-sac there, and the cul-de-sac should give me trail access. I'm anticipating this to be a relatively quick and easy Google Maps find, but rest assured, I'm determined to find out what these items are and if we can make heads or tails as to what exactly is going on with them, why they appeared randomly after 2011, before 2019. All right, this is our road that we want to be on. This is the newer development that was being built in the early 2000s. And hopefully the maps are correct. There should be a cul-de-sac with trail access. Okay, here's the cul-de-sac. Hopefully there is access. If not, I'll have to come up with a plan B. But I think we may be okay. I think I can snake my way through there. So let me try to get through there. If we can proceed on, I'll pick up there. If not, we'll turn around and do plan B. Definitely brought the right tool for the job with my dual motor e-bike. So we are now on somewhat of a trail here. You can see it faintly. Obviously this is not the right time of year to look for a Google Maps object, but with how small this area is and with trails look like they're leading relatively close to it, I don't think you're gonna have much trouble at all. If we follow this straight, which we're going to, it should lead to a larger trail section where we're gonna hang a right. And when we do that, it should bring us in close proximity. We may have to go on foot for just a short section, but I think we're gonna get pretty close to the ballpark. And who knows, maybe something else is hiding out here too that we're not aware of. So even after we find this item, we got a gate. Even after we do find this item, I'm still gonna proceed on, explore this area a bit more. Okay, I need to figure this out. Okay, this is posted. Purple paint, a locked gate. That poses a problem. Now it looks like obviously people still go through here, at least on foot. And there's no way I can get my bike through there or over there. And also that's posted. Oh, that's not good either. And even if I was to try to get it through there, which is gonna be more work than what it's worth, it's not gonna be viable. But one thing you may have learned from me in my videos is that I am stubborn, I am determined. Although this is purple painted, which means it's private property right here, I don't know how far back that is. The item we want is still kind of off in that area up there. So I'm gonna look for a plan B. I'm gonna look at Google Earth, Google Maps, see if I can find different access back here, because although this is a roadblock of sorts, if I do go to the plan B location, wherever that may be, and it's not posted, not purple painted, we'll proceed. If that area is also posted and painted or marked off, well, it's gonna be a fail. But I'm not gonna mark it off yet as a fail. I'm gonna do some homework on my phone and I'll get back to you in just a second. Fast forward about 30 minutes, we are now on plan D, I believe. So the frustrating part is where we stopped to turn around at that gate with the purple paint. we were only about maybe less than 100 yards away from the proposed target. We weren't that far away at all, but we couldn't go any further. I didn't want to go any further. I went to 2 other locations that looked like there may be access back to the same area. One was just completely overgrown, no trail at all, so it was impenetrable. The other one looked like it was turned into someone's property now. It's no longer a trail, it was kind of redeveloped. So now I'm on plan D, which I just came from that direction back there through that fake bamboo forest. Thankfully I don't have a lot of hair, because otherwise it'd be getting all caught in me. And we do have a trail system straight ahead. This one looks a bit more wider, a bit more used, a bit more manageable. And according to what I saw, it should take us not directly to it, but at least back in that area. As long as I don't come across any other posted signs or purple paint, I think we're going to be pretty good to go. So I'm going to cover some ground, see if I do spot anything along the way, and we'll see if we can actually locate those items. Well, only a few feet into this and just came across something man-made here. Looks like a little maybe camp area. There's tires, blocks, and posts making like a little perimeter. Oh well, let's keep trudging along. Well, not the best access, but we're still making progress. Ugh. Okay, hopefully the worst is behind me. Just to update you, we are making pretty good progress. We're back near the electrical pole lines. There's some coal and silt material on the ground. There's a business over there and residential homes right there. But this trail opened up nicely, and I'm coming across quite a few deer back here. They're actually up ahead. You know what? I'm gonna have to check my app. This looks like an old rail bed. And look at those, look like creosote ties right there. It's purple painted right there. Obviously we had someone's property. We don't need to worry about that, but let me pull up the app, because this looks like an old rail line. Well, when your suspicions tell you something, sometimes you may be right. This is indeed an old rail bed. This was originally DL&W, Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western. Shows up presently as running in Northern, but as you can see, there's no tracks here. I believe they have trackage further up. But from what I could see in the app image, there was multiple lines coming through here. This is just what's worn down from trail use, but I believe there was multiple lines right through here in this area. At least 2 to 3 of them, according to rail guides. So a little bit of rail history along the way, which is always a good thing. And as we do kind of snoop around, yeah, there's old ties, and who knows, maybe we'll find something more substantial and significant. Oh yeah, look at that. The rail bed is right there. The ties are still in place. Hang on, let me get over there. So we're riding on a rail bed with non-existent rails, but look up here. I don't think the rails are here, but the rail bed is still intact, complete with ties. Wow, had no idea. Now beyond here, I can see purple paint, so we're not gonna go any further than this, but this is a pretty cool bonus find. Didn't come to look for this, but it's out here, and it's heading back towards the direction we're going, so maybe this plays a part in the area that we're gonna be focusing on. Even though the items appeared after the rails have been gone, this area obviously was serviced by rail. Is there any spikes or anything left? I don't see anything other than just the ties. Plates, hardware, everything's pretty gone. I mean, these are pretty well rotted too. But without a shadow of a doubt, we stumbled upon old DL&W line. Well, they say things happen for a reason. Maybe I was meant not to go the original plan A, B, and C. Plan D brought me here to discover a rail line that once existed. Well, I'm just gonna go with it. That rail bed with the ties rose in elevation. It's right there on our left. And there's a really strong smell of like oil and grease back here. I think it's coming from the business to my right. Okay, so there is a trail going that way up and over the rail bed. Main trail continues this way. Let me see where I'm at on Google Maps, and we'll know which way to go. All right, so according to Google Maps, if I go left here, it'll bring me to a clearing area, but my object and goal where the targets are is the circle area farther away. I believe if I go straight though, it should bring me to another trail section, or if I hang a left, it'll take me down to that particular area. Maybe on the way back, we'll scout this out, see what's back there, but my main objective right now is to reach the target location, identify it, and then we could explore a little bit more. So unless I find something else along the way, next clip you see should be us getting pretty close to our target location. Well, I said I would come back if I found something else, and I did. So we just crossed over the rail bed here. There's the ties. We came from that direction back there. And something interesting up here, if we proceed just a few feet further, things have changed drastically. Look through the weeds here. We have rails. Now from here, it does show up as Reading and Northern. This is basically a backup line for hitting some switches up there. And this area doesn't look like it's used all that often. The grass is growing up it, but it is considered an active line. So we're not gonna go any further over here. Something else though, I think even more fascinating is, well, it did look like a rail line came through here. So again, pulled up the Rail Guide app, and yes indeed, a line came through here. It actually formed a Y, W-Y-E. They were actually able to turn locomotives around in this area. So there was a lot going on back here. They were able to turn locomotives around here. We know it was former DL&W, now Reading and Northern. It also connected up with NYO&W, New York, Ontario, and Western. And over in that direction, maybe 100 yards at most, there's a pretty substantial rail yard there. Looks like dozens upon dozens of lines, old DL&W rail yard. So this may be a whole new side adventure for the future to kind of document this area more. Obviously, I'm not going to go where active lines are, but to trace this Y area here, which looks like it goes over to, okay, that was a connection for NS, Norfolk Southern, Sunbury line. So there's a connection off of this line over to NS, which is active today. But there's still a section in between that connects these two areas. So it may be worth documenting in the future, maybe not. Might not be anything left, but at the very least we know there's ties back here and the rails do end or start here depending on how you look at it. But now that that's out of the way, I don't want to waste any more time. I need to backtrack a little bit, hang a right, hopefully there's a trail there, and it should take us about 99% of the way to our target location. I don't want to put this off anymore, but there's no way I cannot share this along the way because I find this equally as fascinating. All right, let me bring you up to speed. That's the area we originally came from, where we started this trail all the way back there. This area is where we just came from, where I showed you the rails are intact back there and the Y section. So I turned around and I knew I had to come here, this power line trail. And I said, hopefully there's access to where we have to go. Now, at first glance, it didn't look promising. Looks pretty overgrown, but I trudged ahead, put it in dual motor, and came up in this direction. And as you're gonna see, the further back we go, the thicker it's getting. And I have officially reached my endpoint on bike. Now, I can technically press ahead on foot, but as you're gonna see, this area is off limits. Right over here on this tree, and on all the trees on this side, they're all freshly marked with purple paint. It's a fresh coat of paint. Looks like it was done probably within the last 6 months. So those items that are back there, according to Google Earth measuring line, we are 282 meters away from our target, which is just over 900 feet, roughly 300 yards away. Not all that far. We were much closer before, where we first stopped at that gate with purple paint, less than 100 yards away. So I basically came around, came in a back way, which wasn't posted. The way I came was not posted or painted, but basically everything in this direction onwards is purple painted. So technically I'm probably in an area right now I shouldn't be, but I think the power lines are owned by a separate company, which is not posted. It's the woods themselves that are posted. So the item is up there, 925 feet roughly, a little bit to the left, on private property. Now honestly, that's extremely frustrating. I haven't done a Google Maps in a while. I did film 2 of them since my last one, but they were both fails because the item was no longer there. There was absolutely nothing to show, so I scrapped the video. The other one, I didn't even get access to the area to find out if it was there. I hit private property right away, so I didn't want to share short 5-10 minute videos of fails, so I just scrapped those. This one, I learned about a few months ago. It looked promising, and I think if I came maybe a few months ago, I may have had better luck, but I don't consider this a fail because we found now an old abandoned rail line of the DL and W and an old Y and spur that connects over to NS. So at the very least, I have something to return to in the future over the winter or springtime. If there's enough interest in that, let me know down below. As far as other Google Maps adventures, I know a lot of you said you do like them. They're some of your favorites. I do have more of them in store. There's actually one that I found out near Centralia. It's in the woods, kind of remote. I'm gonna have to walk to it, and it gives me questionable vibes as to what I found on the map. So that one's gonna be coming up soon. And I have another one not terribly far away from here, which I'm not sure if it's a unique geological feature or if it's something man-made or something completely different. That one I may or may not be walking to or using the bike to get to. I have to find access there, but I can tell you it's near the turnpike. But I found it, it stands out amongst the area, and it's something I'm hoping to make a video on. So with that being said, I do want to thank you for taking the time to come along. I do apologize for the disappointment of us not reaching our target. Some things are out of my control, and I don't blatantly want to trespass in a video that may get several thousand views, so it's best to play it safe. We documented some old rail history, had a little bit of an adventure, and Plan D kind of worked out in its own way. And who knows, maybe those items are no longer there. Maybe they would have been extremely disappointing. Could just be scrap metal, could be rusted out cars. I don't know. Regardless, we're gonna move on to another adventure, another day. So thanks again for coming along, for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.